All right, so we're going to start reviewing for your test next Tuesday. Got today, Monday. Your entire test is actually going to be calculator active, so you will be able to use Desmos. However, when you get to that next check-in, when you get to your EOC, they can have this sort of stuff with the systems on the inactive. So we do have to be able to do it without. So let's start off. Let's try this one without Desmos. One should be pretty easy with Desmos, so we'll give it a try without. Levi. -3 is correct. We were making mistakes with our negatives, okay? So the easy one to cancel out is going to be the x. Also, that helps because we're solving for y, right? So if I multiply my whole second equation by 2, that gives me 4x plus 10y equals -22. The other equation is 4x minus 3y equals 17. Since we're trying to make the x's cancel out, they got the same sign, we're going to subtract. All right, so when I subtract, it cancels out my x's, but I got 10y minus a -3y. So that's going to make a 13y. Then I've got negative 22 minus 17. Signs are the same. So we add, and you got to keep the sign. So that makes a negative 39. Y'all that were messing that up, those were the spots y'all were making the mistakes. And then when we divide, negative 39 divided by 13 gives us negative 3. Any questions on that one? At a fair, 3 adult tickets and 4 kids tickets cost $89. 2 adult tickets and 3 kids tickets cost $63. How much is a kid's ticket? What you got? $11 is correct. All right, so when we write our equations, we got 3x, I'll make the adults x, kids y, plus 4y equals 89. Then we got 2 adults plus 3 kids equals $63. So those would be our 2 equations. You can use Desmos, so plug those in just as they are. You don't have to change anything about them as long as you got X's and Y's. And then you got to remember which one's adults, which one's kids. If you were doing this without Desmos, you'd actually have to multiply the equations probably to solve it. Okay? Any questions on that one? Which inequalities match the graph? Ooh, my bad. None of these match the graph. Those should all have a negative slope. Lines here have negative slopes, so. Lacey? D. That's why I asked. They sound the same. D is correct. All right, so we have our dotted line, which I corrected has a negative slope. We have a solid line, which also has a negative slope. So the slope doesn't help a whole lot, but really all we need on this one is whether it's shaded above or below. So our dotted line here, it is shaded above. All right, so the dotted line is going to be the one without the line under it. This is below. That's above. That's above. That's below. All right, so we eliminate the 2 were below. So now we go to the other one. Also below, right? Yeah, I just gave her the wrong one. So we got flip the slopes there. So to make it below, when we flip the inequality sign, C is going to be our correct answer, not B. When I couldn't hear what she said, that kind of messed with my head, I guess. So C would be the correct answer. Sorry. Any questions on that one, though? My bad. All right, so this one we did yesterday. This is the exact same one we did yesterday. I just want to show you something with this. Go ahead and put both of those inequalities into Desmos. When you put them into Desmos, you want them to look just like, or the equations look just like, the inequalities, I mean, look just like they look up here. So, if I put those in, I've got negative 4x plus 3y less than 6. I've got y is greater than negative 2x plus 3. So you can see Desmos shades for both of them. It doesn't leave just the one section, but the answer, the solution part, is this section where it's like double shaded, where it's doubled up. All right, so over here in this area. So the other thing you can do with Desmos is you can have it graph ordered pairs. So I can put negative 3, 10, and, well, I got to zoom out a little bit, but you see where that's at. We got a point right there. That means that is not going to be our answer because it needs to be in that section. So if I go to choice B, we got negative 1, positive 5. We're getting closer, but still not quite where we need it. We need it in the doubled up region. So the next one was negative 1, 2. Well, that's just all sorts of wrong. It's not in any shaded part, which, you know, D was the right answer yesterday, so D was still the right answer. And you can see the 5, negative 2 is in the shaded, that in the region that's shaded by both of those inequalities. All right, everybody see how that works? So you still have the option like we did the other day where you can plug in each of those numbers and check to see which one works. Obviously that takes a little while. With Desmos, you have this option as well. All right, so if you get something on the inactive, you're stuck plugging them in. If it's on the active, this is probably easier. You just have to find the point that is in the region shaded where the dots are. So just always kind of be aware of that. Any questions on that? So kind of how Desmos can help with the inequalities as well. If you got one where you're trying to match a graph and an inequality, you can always put the two inequalities in and see which one shades it the right way. So always an option.